Hi there, and welcome to Cortus Metals. I'm Sean Major, the CEO, and I'd like to present an opportunity to you for investment in Nevada. You can tell from our lead sheet that we're proud of our abilities. We're at Cortus Metals as a part of the Metals Group, which the principals have 20 plus years of experience together, running junior companies in locations around the world. We've learned a lot in those places, lots of challenging jurisdictions and settings, and we brought that back to North America to work in a stable jurisdiction. In 2019, our group went down to Nevada to look for some good projects. We looked at several of them all around, and most of them were in the ranges of Nevada. That's historically where exploration and mining has taken place. About 200 million ounces have been produced over a 200-year time frame. But what we saw was a lot of projects that were rehashing old discoveries, and we wanted to be involved in new discoveries in Nevada, which is a tall order. Fortunately, we found a local expert as a partner, and the rest of this presentation is about the opportunity to invest in new discoveries in Nevada. The cautionary statement, of course, mandatory. This is a summary statement about Cortus Metals and our approach. In a nutshell, we're looking for projects or discoveries of deposits beneath shallow cover in the basins of Nevada. It's a significant opportunity. Very few companies are looking in the basins, and we have a methodology for making discoveries there. The methodology itself is done on a large scale, and we're looking for significant deposits. So our company has approximately 15 to 20 at any given time projects. Any one of these could result in a very significant discovery. We've said in this write-up, we're looking for deposits greater than 1 million ounces. Of course, in Nevada, it's a target-rich environment, both in terms of projects and in terms of producers. Producers there are looking to replace production that they've been doing for the last 10 years. And it's our plan to work over the next couple of years to have product available for them. Our team is quite accomplished. We've worked together, as I said, for about 20 years in various iterations. This summary slide talks about some of the principles. Myself and John Williamson have worked together for that time frame, the 20 years. Jim Gregg has been with us since our days in Africa, which was the last 10 years or so. Jeremy Senyek has been around for the last 5 years or so. All four of us are very experienced in capital markets, juniors, and opportunities. The remainder of the team are the experts, of course. We have our CFO, Jesse, who's been around nearly 10 years. And we have a crack team of geologists, Nicole Riseco, Ewan Webster, Clay Newton, and our consultant, Mike Dufresne. Clay Newton is the resident geological expert. He was the vendor of the projects that we acquired, the portfolio. He's PhD in structural geology, and his methods form the basis for our initiative. As I mentioned, Nevada we consider to be a target-rich environment. There's many mid-tier and senior producers there. There are some recognized major gold trends. Our projects are in amongst these, but they are also in some newer areas of Nevada. Cortus-style gold mineralization is our primary target, and this style exists outside of the Carlin Trend, and we are primarily looking in those areas outside of the Carlin Trend. The Carlin Trend itself was discovered in the 70s, and there are many producers. It's very difficult to find ground in that area. We are going to move to the next slide. Nevada has been in the mining game since the early mid-1800s. It's very dependent on the revenue there. That's what drew us to the jurisdiction. They still run by the mining law of 1872. And outside of the major gambling centers, the economy is really driven by mining, and the counties and towns rely on it. So it's a very mining-friendly jurisdiction. All of our projects are road accessible as well. This graphic shows part of our story here, outlining the range and basin. Nevada is roughly half range and half basin. These areas were formed around the same time with the same strata, and over time the basins have dropped, the ranges have risen up. You find outcropping rock, jasperoid, and so on in the range, which has been the main indicator for companies. They're able to take rock samples and hone in on the deposits. In the basin, we're not so lucky. It's covered by gravel, deep in the middle, shallow on the edges. And we're looking for areas where the mineralization continues, or the structures at least, continue from the range into the basin. So many of our projects are near existing mines and deposits. This basin area makes up roughly half of Nevada as well. So it has the same potential for gold and other metals as the range does. When we go about our work, first we start with the desktop work of our partner, Clay Newton, where his structural work has developed 250 prospects. And over time, he has built up a project portfolio of about 25 projects. We've narrowed that down to about 18. So it's done by, he goes out and stakes the ground after identifying structures called pull-apart basins, which we believe are the origin of many of the deposits in Nevada. He then looks at the hillside and sees what kind of plants are growing there. It gives him an idea of what elements are in the soil. So it's a poor man's geochemistry. We acquired his portfolio of claims that he had staked, and then we perform rock and soil geochemistry, geological mapping, geophysics, including mag and gravity. That gives us a clue about the depth of the bedrock and lights up the highs and lows so that we can do some effective drill targeting. We try to advance all the projects to the drilling stage, either on our own or with joint venture partners. At this point, we have 3 drill-ready projects. The rest of the portfolio is moving toward that stage. It takes about $100,000 to do that per project, and we're looking for joint venture partners to invest $1 million to $2 million in a drill program. This graphic shows locations and categories of the opportunities. Green is, we use that color to identify the very early stage grassroots type projects. You can see that are spread around. This is an image of northern Nevada. These ones are in the process of building up land positions and performing early stage field work. The red indicates projects where we've got geophysical and geochemical results to support the desktop work. And blue represents where we have identified drill targets and are ready with bonding and permitting to proceed to the drill stage. We find joint venture candidates are interested in projects at all levels. Typically, they would take on several small ones, invest a bit, and then pick from the results that they find 1 or 2 projects. Others look at the more advanced projects and take them on. We feel these are ideal for new companies and startups to make lots of news as they move toward discovery. This graphic shows our project pipeline, the early stage, mid, and advanced. It is showing some of the highlights and the analogs. We've got a very good portfolio with some clear analogs that people should be excited about. We plan to release more news about our project profiles and joint ventures that we're forming to complete drill programs. This slide covers a lot of the points that I've made already. It's a summary of the value proposition. We're a very experienced management group that has the full gamut from technical to corporate marketing capability, lots of experience, and we're motivated. We've got succession planning within our organization, which works for us so that we'll have a long-term leadership in our group, but it also gives us opportunities for projects in Nevada where the proponents are have been around a long time and aren't necessarily interested in continuing, although they have excellent projects and would like to see those advance. So we are candidates to take over for existing management groups in Nevada. We use what we're doing as a way to get a foothold there. We believe there's significant upside, and with 15 to 20 projects in the works, that's a lot of opportunities or chances at making a big discovery. We have validated the methodology. We're very pleasantly surprised how well the desktop models hold up in terms of structure when we get to the geophysics stage. And we're very excited about what the outcomes will be. Drilling will commence within the next 2 months, and we expect to see results working through 2-year joint ventures. This is the capital structure. Our market cap is about $5 million, which is very low. Our price in the market is 10 cents. And that means that you can get into this opportunity for the price of the IPO. It's very early stage with a lot of upside. We're completing a current financing, raising about $1.5 million with 10-cent units that include a half warrant at 15 cents. And I encourage as many of you as possible to take a piece of that. A significant number of warrants through financings completed to date. Those all have triggers at 20 cents and are exercisable at 15 cents as well. So it's a very fair entry point right now. Once we get to 20 cents, this is an indication we'll have just under 100 million shares out if all of these warrants and options are exercised, and a very healthy treasury. This is the contact information for me, Sean Major, at Cortus Metals. Our head office is in Edmonton. We also have offices in Vancouver and field offices in Nevada and Reno. We're happy to take calls from investors and joint venture candidates alike. Thanks very much for your time.